All right, everybody, it's me, Gregory Mannarino. It's Friday, September 18th, 2020. Crazy day on Wall Street. But look, this whole month has been crazy. And no surprise to you, I explained to you last month that you would see a lot of volatility this month. Well, guess what? It's here. So no shock. But still, I continue to get hit with people who are freaking out because the stock market is, having some volatility. The market does not go straight up every day. No. Again, random walk with upward drift. Now, this month in particular, like I pointed out last month, is especially bumpy. Now, the end of this month, which we are clearly moving towards, tends to be even more bumpy historically. So this can last a little bit here. But again, if you are getting all worked up about what the stock market is doing on a day-to-day basis, something's wrong. Either you're worrying too much about money, maybe you shouldn't be trading if you're a trader. You got to sit back and look at the bigger picture. For me and my Lions, we destroyed this market this entire year. Destroyed it. So what is this? It's nothing, honestly. All right, anyway. So, yes, today's stocks did fall. Nothing major happened today in the market. A couple hundred points for the Dow Jones Industrial Average. Actually, the Dow finished positive for the week. Not so much for the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ, but okay. Whatever. We need to continue to have our eyeballs in the right spot. 10-year yield, 0.69. Dollar flat today. No knee-jerk into the dollar. No knee-jerk into the safety of debt. So what are we seeing here? And today was options expiration day, so you got especially crazy swings in this market. This is also to be expected. All right, let's talk about a few other things. Silver did fall today a little bit. Gold caught a bid. Cryptocurrencies did fall under pressure. Crude oil also a little bit under pressure here. But to me, look, I at the risk of sounding like a perma-bull, I'm bullish. I still remain bullish in this market. You got to take in so many factors when you are looking at this market. First of all, look, let's talk about Bailout Nation USA. All right. We just found out that the farmers are going to get another $14 billion bailout. This is like their third bailout. And other industries are going to get bailed out as well, not just the ones that the Federal Reserve is buying their debt. The airlines, mark my words here, the airlines will get another bailout. And I do still believe, well, at least I hope so, that Congress, the do-nothing loser Congress that we have, will get something done for the American people instead of just Wall Street, instead of just the farming industry or the airline industry or whoever else is going to need a bailout. Trickle-down economics doesn't work if we know, seriously, it just doesn't work. But they want you to believe it does, so that's why we have to bail out industries. Let's talk a little bit further about bailouts. So we understand again, it's being played up as a good thing. The farmers are getting stimulus from the White House, and this is all well and good. But you do realize, and I want you to look this up for yourself, for a decade or longer, China has been buying U.S. farmland, right here. And they own farms all over the United States. Guess who's getting billions in stimulus? Yeah, Chinese farms, Chinese-owned farms. Yeah, that's exactly who's getting it, but you're not supposed to know that. Okay, you're supposed to think it's American farmers, American-made. They're getting the bailout. No, it's going to China, right over to China, and China is laughing. China is laughing. People, look, You may get offended by this, but I don't care. I want you to counter this argument, all right, if you're able to do that. China has played President Trump like a grand piano for his entire presidency. Every single trap that China lays out for the president, he falls right into it. It's not very smart. Again, prove me wrong. I dare you. Okay, can't happen. I mean, every single thing that we were told would happen, first of all, there was never a deal with China. We know that. It should be obvious to you. More obvious that we're bailing out farmers who were supposed to be buying all this stuff from our farmers. You know, they were going to do great. That didn't work out too well. How about shrinking the trade deficit with China? President Trump said the tariffs would shrink the trade deficit. It's exploded. It's exploded. Gone completely the opposite way. China's paying those tariffs. Bullshit. China has never paid a single dime in tariffs, and we're not paying a single dime in tariffs that they have on us. It's paid by the importers and exporters, and those costs are pushed onto you. Okay? I would imagine the president is aware of this, but he thinks you're too dumb to understand how it works. What we did get is a full-blown trade war. That's all we got out of this promised China trade deal. And China's laughing because, again, we're sending them billions of dollars. Billions. Because the Chinese-owned farms are entitled to that cash. But that's how we make America great again. Don't forget that. Anyway, what I want to do here is I want to do a blow-by-blow. A lot of stuff happened today, so just bear with me a minute while I open up a new page. There we go. So, Barclays, you know, the mega bank. Let's talk about the mega bank here. They're talking about stock market valuations being dangerous at dot-com bubble levels. Really? They're just waking up to that fact? Yeah, that's exactly what's going on here. And these bubbles are going to get monumentally worse, especially after what we found out the Federal Reserve is going to continue doing. Buy the debt, buy corporate debt, flood the world with dollars, flood dollars around the world. That's how it's going to work. Now, I want you to pay attention to this real quick. This was back in March. Back in March, the Federal Reserve had announced, I'm going to read this title to you, Fed announces unlimited purchases of mortgage-backed securities and treasuries. All right, they have absolutely fulfilled that promise. But yesterday, we found out they're going to be increasing this. They go from unlimited to increasing. How does that work? How do you go beyond unlimited? Can someone explain that to me? Because I'm not that bright. All right, let's move forward here. Now, we heard, again, I mentioned this morning, Fed President Bostic. You know, he likes to talk, this guy, and I personally think that these Fed presidents should be strung up somewhere. I really think they are criminals of the highest order, but that's besides the point. So this guy here definitely sees signs of the U.S. economy slowing. Now let me read you the translation. Translation: the Fed will continue to issue epic debt in order to keep the stock market propped up at the expense of the middle class, which is the real economy. You're not supposed to know that either. It's really insane. And then we heard from this guy today too. He was out all day. Fed President Bullard. Fed President Bullard started off the day with saying, and this is a quote, "Looks like rates here in the United States are going to stay low for quite a while." Translation: indefinite and forever. That's their plan. It's completely insane. Now here is something I want to read to you. This is from Reuters. This is verbatim. Washington, Reuters. The Commerce Department said on Friday, today, the current account deficit, which measures the flow of goods and services and investments into and out of our country, soared to its highest level in 12 years. But there are some that want to convince you that we're in a recovery. Super V. How does that work? I don't know. Maybe you can tell me that too. I need help here. United Bank of Scotland here, very bullish on gold, and they're buying more. All right. Again, Fed's Bullard. Let's talk about this guy. Inflation may be stronger than Wall Street expects. What about the people? What about the people here? They don't care. Of course they don't. It's unbelievable. Now let me read this to you real quick. To me, this is me. To me, the Federal Reserve is a serial killer on an epic scale. They're on a mission to murder the middle class, which is the real economy, and prop up that stock market regardless of what we saw today. It's total garbage. Here's another one. Most of you know Ray Dalio. He's a billionaire investor. Now he's saying that there is a capitalism crisis here in the United States, and we are quickly moving into some type of a new system. Who does that sound like? Doesn't billionaire Ray Dalio sound exactly like Greg Mannarino? This is something else. This merger now between these corporations who are going to get bailed out at the expense of the American people, and we're going to talk more about that in a second. This is creating this is not capitalism. This is definitely, as Ray Dalio says, a crisis of capitalism, a crisis in capitalism. It's crazy. So we got something else. Now here we go. Moderna expects to make 20 million doses of the coronavirus vaccine by the end of this year. Okay, fantastic. Now the wording is interesting. Moderna said on Friday expects to produce 20 million doses of its experimental coronavirus vaccine by the end of the year. Yeah, they said experimental. So what do we make of that? Are we subjects? Are we guinea pigs? What are we? I want to know what you think. It gets better than that. We're going to move forward here. Let me talk about this real quick. I receive an obscene amount of correspondence from people, emails, and messages. Now, going back to corporate bailouts real quick, because I want to talk about this. There are many people who are writing to me that are in favor of these corporate bailouts. Most people are against them. That's the truth. But there are some that are all for corporate bailouts. Now, if you are one of those that are for corporate bailouts, can you explain to me why? How do you feel that it fits into what our forefathers wanted to see this country? How does it play into a free society and a free market? Explain that to me, because I'm obviously not smart enough to know. Now, this was an unbelievable article here by Michael Farr, CNBC. I posted this all over my social networks. And he says the problem with the United States economy is this. Are you ready? There are too many poor people. Duh. Really? Oh, thank you, sir. What a revelation here. All right, so look, just going back here to the bailout, for the third bailout here for farmers. So this is Reuters again. Verbatim, I'm going to read this to you. The U.S. Agriculture Department on Friday released the details of the new Trump administration stimulus aid package. They're calling this a stimulus/aid package. It's not a bailout. Okay. For farmers, which will pay $14 billion to growers of major crops such as corn, soybeans, wheat, livestock, dairy, and tobacco. Just the things those Chinese farms are making here in the United States. So maybe we're bailing out China. The American people are bailing out China. I don't know. Let me know. Again, I'm not too bright here. Now, I want to share this with you real quick. There's no doubt in my mind whatsoever, and I doubt it will be in yours, that the airline industry is going to get another bailout. They got $25 billion. It seems with no strings attached. Again, we were told that they were getting this bailout money so they would not fire their workers. Well, that didn't turn out so well. So we understand what happened yesterday. President Trump met with 5 CEOs of the 5 largest airlines, and they want support. They feel that they should be getting 15 to 24 months of support or stimulus or aid. Don't call it a bailout. And then after that time, they're going to be profitable. First of all, I don't believe that's true. Second of all, I still believe they're going to get this money, which they will, and they're going to lay people off anyway. So my number was another $25 billion. What's your number? We know it's going to happen. It's going to happen, but we don't know the number. My number is $25 billion. What's yours? Now this is another one going back to Bullard because he was out all day. Fed Bullard says biggest growth quarter of all time will lift inflation. What kind of a crack pipe is this guy smoking? What kind of drugs are in it? What is he trying to tell us? And I wrote this non-human thing is flooding the airwaves today. Will someone please duct tape its mouth? I don't know what they're trying to sell you. I know you're not buying it. Now, I want to read this to you, and I really want you to pay attention to this. This is me verbatim. Do you know what really bothers me regarding corporate bailouts? These companies have been buying back shares of their own stock for over a decade. Shouldn't they be forced to liquidate those shares before they get a public bailout? What am I saying? Wrong. Okay, let me move on to the next segment. If you were president of the United States, if you were President Trump today, would you bail out a company or an entire industry which has been buying back shares of its own stock for a decade? Or would you first insist that they liquidate those shares? You see, President Trump will never do this for two reasons. Number one, it would hurt the stock. It might hurt the entire market, and it would hurt the bonuses of CEOs and other executives. So the American people must pay. You understand? That's how it works. This is capitalism. This is how we make America great again. You're smoking a crack pipe with some funky drugs in it too. Okay, so gold futures climb higher for the second straight week. People, you got to own gold. You got to own silver here. There's no doubt about it. Cryptocurrencies are well. Bet against the debt. Become your own central bank. And there was another thing here. China is making a major play for American farms and farmland. And we're bailing them out too. Like I just said. How do you feel about that? I think, honestly, I'm going to say it again. China has played President Trump like a grand piano. A grand piano. And it's just terrible for America. It's not very smart. He's not a smart man at all. Here we go. The CDC is telling Congress right now, as I'm doing this, that they urgently need $6 billion for vaccine distribution. They need it now. They have about a $1 billion per month budget as it is already, but they need another $6 billion so they can distribute this vaccine. Now, my question was, should Congress award the CDC $6 billion for this COVID vaccine distribution? You let me know. Here's another good one. 3 years ago, as we all know, Puerto Rico got hit by a major storm 3 years ago. President Trump just awarded them $11.6 billion for recovery. This happened 3 years ago. You think he's trying to buy some votes? No. Can't possibly be that. I think people in Puerto Rico are going to take this the opposite way and vote against him. 3 years? 3 freaking years? Okay. Here's another one. And this one I want you to pay attention to as well. So we understand what Moderna said. They're going to have a whole bunch of vaccines ready. This is everywhere. So I don't want to hear, oh, Greg, you're posting fake news. Look it up for yourself. I posted 2 sources already. President Trump said the U.S. will manufacture enough coronavirus vaccines for every single American by April. Not saying it's going to make it mandatory. I still don't believe it's going to be mandatory, okay? But he wants you to know, the president, enough for everyone. Even your little infants that aren't even born yet, all the way up to, I guess, somebody like my buddy Ed Hall's age. He's 97 years old. We're all going to get that vaccine, but who really wants it? It's insane. Utterly crazy. President Donald Trump said Friday the U.S. will manufacture coronavirus vaccine doses enough for every American by April. He said the U.S. will have at least 100 million vaccine doses before the end of this year. Likely much more than that. But again, my question is, who wants it? All right, anyway, look, let me just get out of this. I think you understand what's going on. A lot of this should make sense to you. A lot of it seems out of this world to you. Again, we're bailing out Chinese farms. President Trump is bailing out Chinese farms, and there's no recourse. Nothing can be done about that. Those farms and those farmers are here in the United States. You think that's good? Can't do anything about it if you don't. Again, China's been laughing, and then laughing some more at our country here, and not our leader. And he's not alone. He's not alone here. Anyway, with regard to this markets, people, like I said, expect volatility here. This is more than likely going to continue for a little while, but I still remain bullish. I still remain bullish in this market. Easy money is not going to stop. Bailouts are going to get bigger. More industries are going to get bailed out. The Fed is going to buy it all. So don't bet against this. If you do, more than likely you're going to get hurt. In my view, at least right now. I'll let you know if I change my mind. All right, people, look, long video. Please share this video. Please get it out there. And I want to hear from you. I asked a whole bunch of questions here. I promise to read the comments. I know I'm going to get personally attacked for a lot of things I said. A lot of people are going to get butthurt because of things I said about President Trump. But instead of personally attacking me, what did I say wrong? How about that? All right. If you personally attack me, then it's a joke. I'm not personally attacking you. What I am doing is revealing the fraud that has been perpetrated by this current president. And if you don't like it, you can unsubscribe. Feel free to do that. Or if you feel like presenting an argument, and maybe you're right, I don't know everything, tell me where I got it wrong. All right, people, look, it's Friday. With that said, I'm going to leave you off with my favorite 3 things. Are you ready? Love each other, care about each other, and be charitable. I'll see all of you on Sunday for when markets are look ahead. It's going to be very lovely, I'm sure. See you later.